What's going on about this Afro think tank? Florida man attempts to assassinate deputy sheriffs in Florida. Luckily, all the deputies who were shot are alive. They're in the hospital getting treated. Thank goodness. I mean, like, when you hear this story, it's a clear setup. This guy made it his business to lure in law enforcement with the specific goal of taking them out, right? And I understand that, we got issues with certain law enforcement, how, white supremacists use law enforcement as their own personal gang and power institution to promote and enforce racism. But, that's not all law enforcement, right? Most law enforcement are righteous individuals that are literally just trying to protect and serve. That is, in fact, the truth, right? And no law enforcement officer should have to go through something like this, but they know that it's a great possibility when they sign up and raise their right hand to serve and protect. And I'm just glad that everybody did their job under fire and everybody survived. Now, the identity of the suspect, I didn't see a picture of him. I don't think they showed a picture, but his last name was something Lewinsky or something like that, right? So we can pretty much figure out, what he looks like. And he also is a criminal, so he's already has priors. So I guess he's keen to do things like this. And the thing he did before he tried to assassinate the deputy sheriffs is insane. And like, the whole story is wild. You're gonna hear everything, and it's like a movie. Like, they can literally make a little movie about this. That's how crazy it is. But like I said, luckily everybody else is alive. They did delete the suspect, so he went out. So maybe he figured, he wanted to go out. He was ready to go out. A lot of people do commit suicide by cop. They figure, I want to die, so therefore I have nothing to lose. Let me take somebody else out with me, right? I just wish people like that would start with themselves first. Like, if you want to take yourself out first, I do that, right? But like I said, good on the police department for doing their job. Clearly they were well trained, because there's absolutely no way an untrained law enforcement department would have been able to handle the situation that they had to handle. These were most definitely trained law enforcement officers. Unlike the untrained law enforcement officers, they can't seem to do a traffic stop without killing somebody. There is a difference, all right? Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
You know what happens, and it comes to us on here live now from Fox. Let's listen into this.
Our suspect ambushed our deputies from the moment they arrived on scene. He was intent on taking the life of a deputy sheriff. The original victim in this case says last night that her ex-boyfriend arrives at her house, zip ties her legs, takes a sock, places it in her mouth, and places some tape over her mouth. Several times throughout the evening, as she gains consciousness and loses consciousness, he tells her, as he's holding her at gunpoint, that he's going to kill her. In the morning, she wakes up and she sees that she's unrestrained. She gets in her car. Let me back up. She sees that she's unrestrained. Her ex-boyfriend's still in the residence. She says, I have an appointment that I can't miss. I must be at. Fortunate for all of us, he allows her to leave the residence at this point. Make no mistake about it. She was a hostage. She was held captive all night long. She's able to leave in the morning, and she comes to our district office here in the south end of the county, seeking an order of protection. After telling the deputy what occurred last night, he tells her, we have a lot more going on here. There's a lot of criminal acts that this suspect needs to be held accountable for. We have a much more of something larger than an order of protection. So at this time, deputies start doing what they're trained to do. They find out who our suspect is. They find out where he lives, what kind of car he drives. And as they're getting this information, they come here to Shell Point Road in Ruskin. And they now believe that our suspect's inside, and he's alone by himself, still believed to be armed. So at this point, there's no need to rush things. This is where innovation greatly assists law enforcement. One of our trained deputies that are trained in drone operations launches a drone. And now the drone is doing surveillance instead of our deputies having to be so nearby and so close to someone we know is violent, already proven that he's violent, and someone who's armed. At some point, as they're in the general vicinity, the drone deputy says, our bad guy is leaving the residence. Our bad guy is headed towards the parking lot. This parking lot now is occupied by some repair workers in this complex, and he's headed towards the car. Now our deputies, as they do each and every day, now they have to go towards danger. They're forced to face danger. They begin to move in as they identify, hey, this is our suspect, this is our bad guy, let's go take him into custody. As the first deputy arrives on scene, he pulls in by the vehicle, and the bad guy has opened now his van, opens up the side door of his van. What you can see from the body cam footage and the drone footage is that he now, our suspect, punches his hand through the car so he can get a better shot at this deputy sheriff, and he opens fire as the deputy sheriff immediately gets out of the car. The car door's not even closed, and he's faced with a barrage of gunfire. Several rounds striking the vehicle, and unfortunately a round shooting and striking him in the facial area. He immediately falls down. Almost simultaneously as the second deputy's arriving on scene, our suspect opens fire on him. He fires at our second deputy through the vehicle, is shooting now actively into the deputy's patrol car, striking him in the neck. He's never able to even get out of his car. The third deputy sheriff, who I can't commend enough for his heroic action, takes a tactical position from the rear. He gets out. As he's getting out, he sees our suspect firing on the second deputy. He opens fire, returns fire, striking the suspect multiple times. Our two deputy sheriffs were medevaced to Tampa General Hospital, where they're currently undergoing some of the best medical care they can receive in this county, if not in this state. The suspect was also transported to Tampa General Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased because he succumbed to his injuries here today. Our suspect is Chris Machowski. He's 34 years of age. He's a one-time convicted felon back in 2023 for a felony charge of tampering with physical evidence. Our three deputies. Our first deputy who arrived on scene is Deputy Moon. He was the one that was struck in the face. Our second deputy is Deputy Daniels. He was struck in the neck. Both of their families have been picked up by Sheriff's Office personnel and reunited with both of our deputies at Tampa General Hospital. Our third deputy is a very experienced deputy. He has 27 years of experience here, and that's Sergeant Harrison Bashner. Sergeant Bashner, job well done, sir. Because of the training that these deputies undergo in the hot weather, in the rain, time after time, several times throughout the year, is why you saw something textbook play out. Now, you might say, but the deputies were injured. The deputies know the danger that they face when they go to this training, and they willingly accept this responsibility, knowing that whatever they do is to ensure that no one else was injured here today. Our suspect's reign of terror ended today because of the training, the bravery, and heroic actions of each of these deputies. I can't thank the responding deputies who responded then to the calls, the pleas for help, as they're in severe agony, not knowing how badly they're injured. Thank you to every single deputy who's on scene responded to this scene today. I also be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank the men and women of Hillsborough County Fire and Rescue. Our deputies, no doubt, are alive and in better medical condition because of the care that they received under the guidance and medical supervision of Hillsborough County Fire and Rescue. Thank you to each and every one of you. What questions can I attempt to answer at this point? Our suspect is a one-time convicted felon. In 2023, he was charged and convicted of a felony charge of tampering with physical evidence. And again, I'm going to release all the body cam footage that we can and the drone video. We're blurring out the deceased body. We're doing some, I don't want to make it too graphic, but I feel it's important, as I've always been as your sheriff, to be transparent. At the same time, I want you to see exactly the dangers that these deputies faced from the moment they arrived on scene. One of them not even able to get out of his vehicle.
Did your first deputy even have time to say anything to him? Did he say anything to the deputy?
No, that's what makes this. There was no dialogue. There was never any conversation. When you watch the drone video, watch the body cam footage, when he gets out of the vehicle, the door's not even shut yet, and he's faced with a barrage of gunfire. I did have a chance to meet with the deputies. Fortunate as fate would have it, I arrived on scene when both helicopters were landing, so I was able to run over to the fire rescue and be able to talk to the both deputies. As you can imagine, in severe agony from the injuries and the sensitivity of where these injuries occurred. But both of them speaking, both of them grateful to be alive.
Sure, it sounds like there's a documented history of possible domestic violence, but it sounds like those situations certainly might have been a case of that. Can you speak to that and what this victim/survivor did?
Yeah, we're not able to find any previous documented cases of domestic violence that are reported to us involving our suspect, but I commend the actions of this brave victim who said, I don't want this to happen to me. I'm in fear of my life, and I'm an ex-girlfriend, don't want it to happen to anyone else. So she took the time to come and report it to us. I'm sorry? You could imagine she's shook up, she's distraught, but no severe injuries. Again, probably more mental anguish than any type of physical injuries. Thank you, everyone. We will provide that information and get you more updates as soon as we can. Thank you.
All right, so we did want to play that out for you here on Live Now from Fox, but that concludes the update we were able to get from Sheriff Chad Chronister there with Hillsborough County, giving an update on the two deputies who were shot. But really the biggest piece of information that we just learned is that that suspect is now dead. We did know that that suspect had been shot by officers, as Sheriff Chronister was able to walk us through really what has been a moment-by-moment update on how that shooting came to be and how those other deputies were shot there on scene. But again, we did know that the suspect had been shot by those deputies. It is official that that suspect, a 34-year-old man who had been convicted priorly on a felony, is now dead. And so that's the update that we've gotten there from the local police. If there are any others that come to us throughout the remainder of the afternoon, of course, we'll bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.